Well, we know that there are fewer families going out to eat in this economy. So restaurants like Red Lobster want to get us thinking about seafood, either dining out or dining in.
Well, this morning we get some perspective from Daryl Mickler. He's an executive chef with Red Lobster, and he's at the Boston International Seafood Show. Good morning.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, let's start with this. How is the industry doing, especially, I know you work with Red Lobster, how is that kind of restaurant chain industry doing, and how is seafood doing in this economy?
Well, I think people still appreciate quality and appreciate a good experience. So as times get a little bit tighter, we've found that people are still coming to a restaurant, still enjoying great seafood meals, but you may be making choices that, okay, instead of I'm going to make one great experience rather than having experiences a lot of different restaurants. So people still want quality. We're the seafood experts, so we certainly want people to come out and try us.
And Chef Mickler, we've got about 2 minutes. I know you got some ideas for people who don't want to go out or maybe want to do things at home. What are you talking about this morning?
Great. Well, sometimes people are a little bit intimidated by seafood, and they may not try it as often as they should. The recommendation is to have a seafood meal 2 or 3 times a week. So we have a couple ideas for you to try here, especially as we go into the Lenten season. First off is our peppercorn crusted salmon. Atlantic salmon's pretty readily available in better grocery stores, in decent fish markets. So what I've done here is take a combination of peppercorns, coat the salmon with it, and just sear it 2 to 3 minutes aside. Gets the salmon to a nice medium, and then I've topped it with a wasabi soy drizzle. And it's kind of a nice combination of flavors. You have
wasabi soy.
A little bit of sweetness. Oh, thanks. A little bit of sweetness, a little bit of heat coming from both the wasabi and the peppercorns that really balance off those bold flavors that salmon has. The next item up is our seafood paella. Now, paella is one of my favorites. It's a great center of the plate meal, pretty bountiful. Traditionally, it has chicken and sausage in it as well as seafood, but we've gone with a real more seafood-centric one here. I started with seared scallops, shrimp, and then mussels. Mussels are a great protein because they're very readily available now. A great flavor, but they're also relatively inexpensive. So it's a great way to get some seafood protein in your meal for not very much money, and you can have a lot of them. Just a beautiful flavor, and people don't try them often enough, as I think.
Hey, Chef, can I interrupt you for one quick second here?
Sure, of course.
Norma and I were talking about something that you were
wondering. How do you know when the seafood is fresh? I mean, I know that how do you know? By looking at it, or?
Well, sure, it's a combination of things. One is start with where you're buying it. As you go into a seafood shop or you go into your grocery store that might feature seafood, trust your senses. If the place smells fresh and clean, if you look at the ice where all the seafood is, if it's nice and clean and looks fresh, the fish there look like they're ready to jump out at you, and you can tell you're in a market that's going to be dependent on quality. And then don't be afraid to ask the fishmonger to hand you some of the fillets and some of the fish and take a look at them. Look for those bright, clean eyes on whole fish and nice, bright red gills when the fish is still whole. But if it's the fillet, look for it to look real fresh, not look dried out, and kind of spring back when touched. Those are all good indicators of quality.
Oh,
but trust your senses. They won't lead you wrong.
Well, okay. Chef, we got to get going here, but we're going to put information on our website to link to some of the things you're talking about, and we hope you have a nice time in Boston. Thanks for your time this morning.
Great. Thanks for your time.
All right, that's Chef
looks so good.
From Red Lobster. Looks good stuff, good advice on looking for fresh stuff.